Well, hey everyone. So, if you're on this video, then you probably know about the Pale Beyond. You probably know about the game studio, and, well, hopefully you're wanting to know a little bit more about what's actually going on. So, today, that's what we're going to do. You also might be wondering, who's he? That's Thomas. Here's your quick answer. So yeah, today we're basically going to be going over things, introducing you to the studio, and it's going to be a bit of fun, right? Some story time. So, the Pale Beyond. Finally, Thomas. Finally. It is time. If you would like to support us and support the game, the best way to do that is really two things. Number one, wishlist us on Steam.
Please.
That's the first thing. Number two, the trailer is on this channel. If you want to share it with your friends or just anyone you think would like the game, we would also, funny enough, appreciate that quite a big amount.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah, Pale Beyond, single player narrative role playing game.
It is indeed that.
That is what we want to do. We are a studio for narrative games.
Yes.
And man, it's been a time. It's been a time
we've had. It certainly has.
we've had many adventures. We'll talk a little bit today about the project that almost killed the company. I feel like most studios have some sort of story like that, and we of course have got our own. But if you are wondering, who is this Thomas person? Because that's not Matt, and Matt usually sits there. Yeah. Thomas has been here since the very beginning.
Yeah. Do you want me to just?
Let's roll.
Hello, I'm Thomas. I've known Michael since I think 2012.
Yeah.
We met in university and we did the same degree together. Him and I did a computer science degree at Queen's.
It was a really funny degree because technically, officially, it was computer games development.
Yeah, well, it was like.
And then when we got in, it turned out it was actually more game engine programming and software engineering.
It was a very traditional kind of like almost rendering engineering, C++, OpenGL kind of affair. Like, one of our good friends very much took that pathway and it worked out for him.
It worked out very well for him.
It worked very well for him. But So we met during university, first class, small class of people, and really bonded over video games and generally, being in university, go for drinks, going to coffee shops, having a lot of fun.
Keeping each other slightly sane.
Yes, and we actually did a lot of university projects together, where many a time it would have been 2 a.m. and just him and me trying to get stuff across the line with a chicken pakora kebab. And,
yes, it's all went up shit creek.
Yeah.
And, we have to crunch insane amounts to get our uni work done.
Obviously, that's
as all uni should be.
Yeah, that's obviously not how one should run a studio.
Yes,
but it was back then and doing that with you where we first kind of realized we can work with each other and not kill each other.
We have this handy thing of being different.
Yes,
where we're both like games and programming. You're additional affix, your additional modifier is you write and direct plays.
Yeah. So we both did computer science degrees. Michael spent half of his degree starting a YouTube channel and doing all of this. I remember living with him back in uni when, was it Battle for Azeroth that was kicking off?
That was Warlords of Draenor.
Oh, Warlords of Draenor. Wow, that was ages ago. And then I spent half my time at university doing stuff with plays and theater and theater stuff. And now it makes sense that we've merged everything. And that's why we're doing a narrative game studios, combining our disparate disciplines of programming and storytelling and management and production, and trying to actually corral everything into a single place. And that's what this is, the Pale Beyond, the summation of all of our efforts as we've accumulated a ragtag group of people across the last few years and tried out various things and gotten something to a state that we're finally comfortable actually doing this and
how it all started then. We basically decided, fuck it, I don't want to go into a big corporation for my placement year. We both had the same feeling, so we started the game studio. And we just went through multiple different misadventures, and this is a topic we're going to get into soon. It's something that I think a lot of younger indie teams, it's the sort of thing, survivorship bias means you don't know any of, you just will literally not see any of this.
Yeah.
But even say in Northern Ireland, we have seen it happen with countless teams where you just end up in this situation of you're just chasing these small little funding pots to be able to do a little bit of the next thing. And it's essentially this thing where you're just constantly strung along for like 2 or 3 years and you get nothing done.
Yeah, yeah.
So we put our time into that. I think some of you who are around the channel like 2016 maybe got a little bit of a whiff of that.
Yeah.
But we did learn a bunch.
Yeah, well,
which was great. We did a few conventions, traveled about the place. Then we got into our first, like, big project, the one that almost killed us.
Yes.
2 different permutations.
How to Kill Monsters was its title. I still really want to return to that IP at some point. I'm still really interested in that world, and so is the team, actually. But I think especially as a fledgling company, and a lot of us being quite younger, there's a lot of humbling experiences, and I don't know. I think with that project. There's a line to be drawn between aspirational ambition and being a little bit out of your depth. And
it's very easy to architect systems in your head.
Yes.
Like, that's the thing. I think systems design, it's so obvious, so we think about it a lot, but I think systems design basically it's quite easy. And because systems design is quite easy, what happens is you almost forget about the far more important and far more hard thing, which is building a fucking awesome prototype, finding the fun, and getting all of that minutia right. Like, that's the thing that's really, really, really hard. It's gameplay design that's hard.
Yeah.
Not really systems design in my experience. So with this, we had our architected systems, all that stuff. We're like, oh, we can see how it all clicks together. But it was just from getting the gameplay to be where it needed to be, too ambitious for where we were. So we killed that project.
We did.
It was the thing to do.
Yes.
And then we started The Pale Beyond.
We did.
There it is.
This was born out of I guess taking a look at the people we had sort of accumulated and the team that we had at the time, and the skills that we thought we could combine that were disparate enough to sort of teleport us to an interesting kind of like creative frontier, and actually take advantage of what we've kind of tested that we're actually good at.
Yeah, it's that thing of like, you don't want to, you wanted to have like an honest appraisal of your own stat sheet and work out like, okay, what can we actually do that plays to our strengths?
Yeah.
And that was like really the core with Pale, where for us, it's like, it's art, sound, writing.
Yeah, and there's we still fundamentally consider ourselves like game developers and game designers, and it's all about that kind of collective summation of everything. But yeah, in terms of like individual disciplines that we knew we were already like better at, that's kind of what we've focused on. So a lot of the development of this up to this point has been trying to put all of those ingredients of good custom in-house audio, good custom in-house artwork, good custom in-house writing and branching narrative, and trying to actually make that like a sum of its parts, and something that I know justifies the journey and tries to actually work as a collective thing.
What's really funny with The Pale Beyond is initially that was envisioned as like really a quick project. It was going to be a shorter game, smaller in scope, smaller in all those things. But what basically happened is as we went into developing it, we started like scoping out the narrative. And I mean, I remember sitting here back with, V1 of Pale and its script, taking on this very table, in fact, taking Matt through the playthrough in the writing software. And yeah, man, it's like things have changed. They've changed in a really, really good way.
Well, I think it's again, Michael mentioned earlier we're quite different people. We have a very different taste in games, but trying to make something that everyone working on it and both of us fundamentally click with for different reasons, and I think that's been really good for the project. I think it's resulted in something where even like there's multiple avenues you could come into this, whether you're in it for the characters, in it for the systems design, maybe some of the loops, some of the like ennui. Hopefully it doesn't matter which route you came into the project, you should come away, feeling satisfied if we've done our jobs.
Of course, having a project exist is one thing. Actually getting to be able to produce a project, to make it, that's a different thing. So
it's a whole other set of skills.
The Pale Beyond first emerges in late 2018, after we did EGX for How to Kill Monsters, and it was originally called How to Kill Monsters Influence People, just How to Kill Monsters. So after that, this project emerged, and we were able to secure enough funding to make like a very small version, the sort of thing that you can then go and pitch around the place with.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with The Pale Beyond. But of course, we got the team. We there's things to do. So via an Ice Screen, which is like a local funding body.
Shout out to Rory.
Yeah, shout out to Rory.
Ice Screen.
So through that, we spent basically 9 or so months working on creating additional IP. Basically, it was like 6 different projects, 2 of which were carried through a little bit further. Well, no, 1 of which was carried through the furthest.
But yeah,
none of those are the Pale Beyond. So we did that over 9 months. And basically with that was allowed us to create IP, expand the skill set of the team,
Yes.
keep the lights on, and do all those things while you were going around and trying to sell the Pale Beyond.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
things with the game, the way it works for many devs is, you know, you have your concept for the game, you have, you know, your GDD and your plan, you have your demo, and then it's like, okay, well, this is roughly the budget. We need to secure this budget so we can, you know, have the team and we can just, you know, go develop the game.
Yes.
So while we're doing that, you're also, you know, we're doing our Gamescoms and our things.
Yeah.
Eventually, you know, we're doing a virtual Gamescom.
Yeah, that was August of 2020.
Yeah.
Time is a flat circle. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that was you know, obviously I can't speak for our publisher, but you know, with these things, I think it's from what I understand in my limited experience so far, I think it's really a kind of a combination of making what you're doing and what you're good at as attractive a proposition as possible, but then simultaneously being kind of right time, right place with the right publisher. You know, it's just as much about, do you fit them and do they fit you, and could this be an ongoing relationship that could be built? But yeah, no, so far fellow travelers have been great. They've been super supportive. Yeah,
Fellow Traveler are excellent to work with, and so you know, from that Gamescom, then you know that conversation happens over the months, and we end up in this really great position where just as we're finished all of our little secret projects on creating IP and you know, some new tech and things like that, the publishing deal is signed off.
Yes.
And from that point onwards, it has been 100% Pale Beyond development. Now that well, you know, the full budget of the game is secured, we have to make the thing.
Yeah. We entered full production in April, and yeah, it's been really interesting. We just delivered our alpha build of the game, and we're now developing the beta.
Yeah.
And so we're doing the game in layered passes that way. And yeah, it's been really satisfying to like finally move out of a pre-production phase and learn the fresh lessons of actually the rhythm of actual day-to-day development. And I have lost all concept of what a month is. I now think of time in sets of 5-week sprints. That's a change that's happened. But no, it's been really good. I think. I think it's been really interesting to finally get to this point. Every day we're learning something new.
I think that the thing to explain to people, like, so alpha and beta, if we're using them in like their more technical definition, alpha basically means, you know, like feature complete, and then so like alpha is like when your tech, your systems, those things are in. You can still have bugs and stuff, but that's what alpha means. Beta is basically content.
Yeah. Like alpha, you've created the instrument. Beta, you're writing your first song with it, and then releases is the pass after that, where we're kind of perfecting it and getting as much feedback as possible on the content, and trying to poke and prod and I guess like validate, did we deliver on our hypothesis artistically and mechanically and programmatically.
So I think like now it's at that fun stage where it's less on the tech side and it's far more on the it's coming together.
The sum of its parts. It's right now we're in content production and we're trying to balance the time we have, the budget we have, the team we have with the kind of content the design itself is innately asking for. We're just like trying to balance preconceived notions of what the game should be with that which reveals itself over the course of developing the game, and then getting as much of both of those together and shipping, because the goal is, of course, to actually release this. That is
the publisher will be happy to hear that.
As would I and my mum. But yes.
So and I guess while that's going on, then we have there's this channel, which, you know, right now we're a little bit more by the seat of our pants, but eventually this is somewhere where I want there to be like content. Like, we want to start making things, just the sorts of things that like can take you along, you know, on the journey. When you look at like the dev teams are doing the best job. Like, we're not an MMO like FF14 or something, but you know, you look at the live letters, you look at just the teams that are really doing a great job, and it's like that shit's really cool.
Yeah, well, yeah,
because like we're in-house YouTube as well, we can.
Yeah.
There's probably other like new things that we can do.
Yeah, I think we're uniquely positioned because we're quite a young team. We're doing a lot of this for the first time ourselves. There's a lot of like challenges and successes, and I think things that are authentically interesting that you maybe don't get to see as often enough. And because obviously your community's along for the ride, I think there's maybe there's a part of this we can show as it happens, which I think is neat.
That's what I want to do, because so much of like the development process is just kind of like it's like it's a black box.
Yeah.
It's a black box, and sometimes when there'll be like talk from journalists, interviews and stuff like that. But I think a lot of like hey, we're showing you how it what's going on. Even things like the whole process of in the indie scene, we all kind of know what the process is for trying to get a project off the ground.
Yep.
But I feel like the vast majority of people who play games, like no one ever tells them that, like what it actually is like. So there's loads of, there's just a lot of stuff that I really hope we can sort of share.
Yeah, and it's like it's if you, this is true for any medium. Anyone I know who's a professional musician, anyone who works in film or theater or games, there's so much about your favorite art and your favorite things out there, and some of the favorite things about your favorite things are innately born from production constraints and from the pragmatic realities of having to actually bring something into the world. And there's so many like micro decisions and stories from that, which I think are just like innately interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a very blunt analogy to be drawn with if you look into the history of Antarctic expeditions, there are basically startups that get floated out into the ice to then like succeed or fail.
Yes, the funding process for Antarctic expeditions is actually very interesting.
It is very similar to that, but I know.
Yeah, so I guess where we are now, the reveal trailer is out. That itself was a pretty cool process.
Yeah.
Second trailer for a game that I've ever edited. For
That's
the
true.
other one, I probably shouldn't mention it mega publicly right now.
Yeah.
Ian McElhenney. If you watch Game of Thrones, Sir Barristan, he is the voiceover in our trailer. That was really cool.
Yeah, you may also know him as Uncle Joe from Dairy Girls. Absolute professional. Nailed it in 2 takes. It was just that one.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was great.
It was cool. And, there's like a little bit of a local thing as well, because in Northern Ireland, like we've got our there's Ian McElhenney, Liam Neeson, James Nesbitt, Michelle Fairley. There's all the sort of just the people that everyone in Northern Ireland knows. So it was pretty cool for us.
This extends. I'm a mix of a bunch of things. I'm kind of like English, Northern Irish, and what have you. But I think there's a lot about even like in the game, the setting, the history of Antarctic exploration. There's a big kind of like local heritage of it here, and Ian seemed like aware of that. Like he knew a bit about Tom Crean. Yeah.
I mean, I would say he's not alive, but I would otherwise say sexiest man alive.
Tom Crean
that photo of him that I used it in a
charismatic indivitional.
God, yeah, he really is.
Frank Hurley's photography is a way of bringing out the most of those guys. There's a one-man theater show about Tom Crean that Ian had gone to see. That he was telling me about, which is pretty cool. That was good. Getting the trailer together was a lot of fun. I think it was a really good kind of like micro project for the team, because in contrast to yourselves and the YouTube content, the game dev is on a much more kind of macro timescale. So to have something that's like a minor project that the team gets to see it put out into the world and get that feedback, and I think it's a really good like internal production morale boost as well.
It's been great for everyone to, especially for those who worked on Monsters. I think it's like this in the industry. A lot of projects do die in the games industry, and that's stuff that people have really put their time and effort into. So, now that everybody's like, getting a credit that is a thing that will come out, that is public, that people have seen, is just pretty major.
I feel like like in the event that me, Michael, and Matt collectively do get hit by the same bus, making sure everyone has a credit is just fantastic, and I can sleep at night knowing that that's the case. And then beyond that, just making something cool, has a bit of a local flavor, and hopefully people like it.
So really, like our mission is simple. It's to make cool shit.
Yeah.
To make cool shit for people to enjoy. That is why we are here.
Yeah.
Pale Beyond is really phase 1 in that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what our eyes are set on at the minute. There will be more cool stuff as time goes on, and you know, hopefully also big journey to take you all on too.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a pleasure. And I'm really proud of the work that everyone on the team has done, and I'm really excited to share more of it with you guys. And
So, till next time. That's a little bit of an intro. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll be doing some podcasty content.
Hey,
or
man,
some
whatever you need.
We'll be doing stuff. It'll be fun. There'll be things in this channel soon enough, and of course, the game development continues, and we'll keep you abreast of everything. But yeah, that's it. So if you want to support us, wishlisting the game on Steam is the thing to do. It really does help. We'll be on more storefronts as well on the PC platform. So wishlisting Steam, and if you want to share the trailer with your friends, we would also very much appreciate that too.
Yeah.
But with that said, that's it from us. Have a brilliant day, and see you next time.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Hit the record button.